camp today. We are.
Who won't give a damn about the Alamo? Right. Who gives a damn about the white man's losses? And that's why the world will rejoice when we are in the door. Right.
And the scepter of the rulers.
The truth of the matter is that you, the white man, have painted yourself as Jesus Christ.
Right.
No more of the evil and the crimes that we learned from your people. And guess what? The more and more we change and become righteous, which we're doing today, teaching the love that we're teaching the righteousness that we're teaching, the more that you're going to fall be back in a position of a servant.
Right.
Because I never seen love for black people. I never seen love for Native Indians.
Right.
I never seen kindness for these people.
Right.
I never seen all of the good things you just said. I never seen them for black, Hispanics, and Native Indians.
Right.
So all of that heartwarming stuff that you're talking about is not applied in the barrios and the reservations.
Right.
All of the stuff that you're talking about does not apply to the ghettos of America.
I understand you guys have been hanging out here for I don't know how long, and things have changed. The Alamos kind of taken over the territory.
Because the last thing we want to do is have an officer get called out here who's not informed and act on something and get himself in trouble. Absolutely. Right? We're gonna make sure we speak to the whole shift about it and everybody knows the legality of what's going on in Alamo Plaza, because obviously it's a little bit disorganized from what they want as to what is on paper.
Once again, it's undefeated when the Lord on your side. You know what I mean? The man in General Your Honor raised up real revolutionaries. Damn right. That know what to fight for and how to fight.
Everything will wash away. It is good. A new race is coming. Everything will burn to ash. It is good. A new nation is rising. Everything will sweep away. It is good. A clean spirit is breathing. Highway when I away, highway when I away, highway when I away.
It's not about the money, it's the principle. Gotta watch who you revere, who you listen to. I speak the Eastern soul, my flow medicinal. And I buried the old man, now I'm invincible. Gotta be wise in judgment, it's critical. Either couple with this brotherhood or you'll get ridiculed. The greatest man, the greatest servant, I kill for who I minister to. And I'm going war, nigga, win or lose. Hey, I was forged from the fire, torn from the liar. If hand join in hand, you'll get caught up in the crossfire. Become a casualty of chance. I'm in my stance, still in hand, ready to swing it like a lance. If the enemy advance, I'm enhanced. Had the benefit of the doubt, he never had a chance. Hey, this the shit that they beg for, that burn down the wicked Judge Dredd flow. Bitch, I am the law. Dog faced, prepared for war.
I'm gon' war to the day I'm done. Number one to the day I'm done. I'ma grind till the day is done. I'ma war till the day I'm done. They can't stop me. Nothing new up under the sun. I'm gon' war till the day I'm done. Number one to the day I'm done. I'ma grind till the day is done. I'ma war till the day I'm done. They can't stop me. Nothing new up under the sun.
I see why they say never envy a carnal man. Claim they real, they actions don't match what they saying. I got the upper hand, what you don't understand, youngin'. I'd rather bleed than concede, now they saying something. These niggas cunning, they want my power, they never take it from me. Hey, for that money, I heard you assisted. They can't go out like that, they'll have to 86 me.
If you're a follower of Jesus, Jesus gave you an order, right?
What's the order?
I'm finna read it.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Matthew chapter 5 and verse 48. Be therefore perfect.
Be what?
Perfect.
Jesus you to be perfect, right? We're done reading the Bible. We're not done reading the Bible.
Everybody has a different view of the Bible.
Keep going.
But really, what my question is, why I walked over here? Don't talk over me. Let's have a conversation like men. Let's have a conversation like men.
I'm just telling
you talking, then I can talk, and then you can talk back. Don't talk over me, so I'm gonna walk away.
If you believe in Jesus, why are you talking over the scripture?
Right, talking over the scripture.
Yeah, you said you believe in Jesus. Why are you talking over the scripture? That's right. I told you Jesus gave you an order. We was going to tell you what the order was. You didn't even get to hear the order before you got to talking.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 1 and verse 21.
Right.
And she shall bring forth a son.
Right. This is talking about Jesus, right?
Right.
This is talking about Mary bringing forth the son, right?
Right.
Let's see what it says. Go ahead.
And thou shalt call his name Jesus.
Right.
For he shall save his people.
He shall save who?
His people.
His people. How is this everybody? What nationality was Jesus Christ on the earth?
Israelite.
He's an Israelite, right?
Right.
Are you an Israelite?
His people.
No, wait. I asked you a
His
question.
people. Why do you refer that to a color?
I didn't say a color. Are you an Israelite?
That's what you're getting at.
I'm asking you a question. Are you an Israelite?
I'm a mutt.
You're a mutt? What's
I'm everything. I'm sure you're not 100% African American, are you?
Who, me?
Yes.
I'm not, but my father is.
Okay, so why are you?
Wait. I said I'm not, but my father is.
There we go.
The Bible goes by what
the fathers are. So what I'm getting at, this just seems racist to me.
I didn't say anything about race. We didn't say anything about race.
Bro, I was walking over here. I was like, what the fuck is going on?
I understand.
Energy.
I understand because
energy that y'all are throwing.
If you're a follower of Jesus.
I know it's scary.
Damn, bro. If you're a follower of Jesus, Jesus gave you an order, right?
What's the order?
I'm finna read it.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Ahora estamos en un medio crisis con esto de Venezuela y que nosotros pensamos que en venir aquí a estas tierras, a los estados, que nos estamos salvando de la crueldad y de la pobreza que vivimos en nuestras tierras. Al contrario, estamos escapándonos de un infierno a otro y aquí se lo vamos a comprobar.
Lamentaciones, capítulo 4, versículo 17. Aún ha desfallecido nuestros ojos.
Nuestros ojos han desaparecido. Tenemos la frente baja, tenemos la cara baja, porque estamos en un estado deprimido, en un estado de opresión. Aunque estemos en nuestras tierras o estemos aquí, hasta en el camino, en el viaje para venir aquí, nuestra mirada está caída.
Esperando en vano nuestro socorro.
Esperando en vano nuestro socorro. Nosotros pensamos que en venir aquí a estas tierras vamos a estar salvados de la pobreza y depresión y opresión que vivimos en nuestras tierras. Si al contrario, ya ven cómo nos tratan antes de entrar aquí. Ahorita tenemos muchos residentes y civiles de Venezuela que quieren escapar lo que viene, pero no pueden salir. No todos son narcotraficantes, no todos son gente malvada, aunque sí hay, pero ellos quieren escaparse para salir de una tierra bien malvada, que es el resultado de las acciones que los estados y los presidentes antes de Trump y antes de él han tomado, porque ellos fueron los que pusieron encargos en esos países. Ellos son las razones que ellos viven en las condiciones en que viven. Ellos tienen la reservación más semejante de petróleo del mundo, pero porque no lo comparten con el diablo, porque no lo comparten con América, es porque lo quieren invadir. Y ahora buscaron un pretexto para invadir a esas tierras, igual que buscaron el pretexto para intentar de invadir a México con narcotráfico. Ahora lo quieren hacer con Venezuela, pero sin saber que nuestra gente, hispanos, negros e indios, nosotros no podemos ser vencidos. Esa batalla ha durado desde que el gringo, hasta antes de que el gringo llegó aquí. Nosotros estamos peleando allá en Egipto, en Israel. Ellos no nos pueden vencer, no pueden con nosotros. Peor si estamos unidos.
En nuestra esperanza aguardamos a una nación que no puede salvar.
En nuestra esperanza, nosotros tenemos esperanza que ellos nos van a salvar y no van a poder salvarlos. Ellos no son nuestros salvadores. Ahora.
And what happened in 1948? And so who is the other fold? Jesus says, and another fold have I.
The other fold is the dispersed of
Messiah.
No.
Yes, they did.
No, you want
Yes,
me to
they
prove
did.
it?
Isaiah said,
Okay, if all Israel were
not
hold
all
on.
of them, not
all of them. Not all of them. If all of the aristocracy, the leadership, the Sadducees and the Pharisees, it was prophesied. You know why? They didn't want to lose their seat with the Romans, because the reason why they killed Christ was because they were afraid of how many people were believing on him. There was once Christ raised Lazarus from the dead, ball game. They're like, he's got to go because we're afraid that the Romans will take our seat. They were in bed with the Romans. They were traitors to Israel because Christ was talking about the kingdom of heaven, Israelite rulership. So when they took Christ before Pilate, they were trying to say he's trying to overthrow the government. And then Pilate listens to him and he's like, that's not what he's saying. But that's what they conspired. But they conspired because they were afraid of the Romans and the people believing on Christ. If Israel was against Christ, how is he feeding thousands? What was the point of the miracle of taking fish and bread and breaking it and passing it out to all the people who wanted to listen to him?
Jesus told Peter, go and preach where? First, in Jerusalem.
Okay.
Did he do that?
Okay.
So did he or did he not?
He did go.
Okay, and then after that?
Tell me, what's your point? Make your point.
Acts is saying that he went and he preached in Judea, he preached in Samaria, and unto the uttermost parts of the earth. Who's in the uttermost parts of the earth?
The scattered Israelites. Right. Caiaphas is about to prophesy. He's about to say, y'all don't understand this book. Go ahead.
Verse 50, nor consider that it is expedient for us that one man should die for the people.
So now, he's talking about the people that are in Jerusalem. Let's take it a step further. Go ahead.
And that one nation perish not.
Go ahead.
Verse 51, and this spake he not of himself.
So when it says not of himself, means he's prophesying this. Go ahead.
But being high priest that year, he prophesied that Jesus should die for that nation.
Go ahead.
Verse 52, and not for that nation only, but that also he should gather together in one the children of God.
The children of who?
The children of God.
Children of who?
The children of God.
Go ahead.
That were scattered abroad.
Now who was scattered? Israel was scattered. So Christ died for not only the Jews that were in Jerusalem, but those who were scattered in Samaria and in Pontus and in Corinth.
And so who is the other fold? Jesus says, and another fold have I.
The other fold is the dispersed of Israel.
No.
It's those who are scattered.
Israel.
Give me James 1:1.
Israel rejected the Messiah.
No.
Yes, they did.
No. You want
Yes,
me to prove it?
Isaiah said.
Okay. If all Israel
were not.
Hold on. Not all of them. Not all of them. If all of the aristocracy, the leadership, the Sadducees and the Pharisees, it was prophesied. You know why? They didn't want to lose their seat with the Romans, because the reason why they killed Christ was because they were afraid of how many people were believing on him. There was once Christ raised Lazarus from the dead, ball game. They're like, he's got to go because we're afraid that the Romans will take our seat. They were in bed with the Romans. They were traitors to Israel because Christ was talking about the kingdom of heaven, Israelite rulership. So when they took Christ before Pilate, they were trying to say he's trying to overthrow the government. And then Pilate listens to him and he's like, that's not what he's saying. But that's what they conspired. But they conspired because they were afraid of the Romans and the people believing on Christ. If Israel was against Christ, how is he feeding thousands? What was the point of the miracle of taking fish and bread and breaking it and passing it out to all the people who wanted to listen to him?
Jesus told Peter.
What's up? You got a question?
Yes. What is the name of y'all's movement?
The ISUPK.
What is that?
We're the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge.
That's right.
Why do you ask?
So I've heard the term Black Israelites, and I was wondering if that would apply to the general movement.
Oh, okay. Yeah. See, Black Israelite.
Yeah.
Black Israelite is an oxymoron. That's like saying white George Washington.
Okay.
George Washington is white. The real Jews are blacks.
Right.
That's the facts.
Okay. So if somebody who wasn't educated listened to y'all's message and thought you were a Black Israelite, would you say, yeah, you guys have the general idea, but that's not correct?
I would say exactly what I told you. Like the exact thing that I told you is that because the world is brainwashed by Christianity, right? Because Israel right now is a white superpower who stole the identity, the popular consensus is that they are the real Jews. But really, they're culture thieves. They created a fake religion. They converted in the 8th century, around 722 AD. And when they converted, they created a fake religion and stole an identity.
So what happened when they converted? Why did you?
No, the people that you call Jewish today,
yes,
that you believe to be the Jews,
okay,
converted to a fake religion called Judaism.
Okay.
That's not who they are not ethnically from Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob.
That's right. Okay. So how did, you said Native Americans, Latinos, and Black people, they're the actual descendants of Abraham.
Correct.
Would you say that's true in a spiritual sense or in a literal sense?
No, in like spiritually, we're God's chosen people, and ethnically, bloodline.
Okay.
Like you can't, like if I asked you your nationality, what would you tell me?
It's kind of a general white.
Just generally white, right? So, something along those lines.
Right.
But you wouldn't tell me you're Chinese. And if you ate every meal with chopsticks, if you put on a chi su,
wouldn't make a difference.
It wouldn't make a difference. Well, being a Jew is not a religion, it's a blood right.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Birthright. You have to be born from one of the 12 tribes of Israel in order to be a part of the nation of Israel.
So you're literally a descendant.
Literally descendants. Okay. And what they are is Jewish, or they're Israelis. Israeli, that means to be an inhabitant of the land.
Okay.
Jewish means of or pertaining to. We are ites. Ite means to be the son of, the descendant of. What's up? You got a question?
All right. So I'm Israel. We're at the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge. We start out of 1 West 105th Street, Harlem, New York, and then Commanding General Johanna. We are here in Monday's class, history class. We're going to be talking about the current events that are happening in Venezuela and how it's related to the scriptures. But before I continue, we are also here to let you Hispanics, Blacks, and Native Americans know who you are according to the Bible. You know what I mean? In the Bible, there's no titles as Mexican or Cuban, Puerto Rican. Those are all bywords that our oppressors gave us when they conquered us. And but in the Bible, you are known as the Israelites, as the true Jews of the Bible. And with that, we're gonna talk about what happened in Venezuela this past weekend, as far as the crimes that was committed via the president of this country. I think it's important that we know that they control the narrative.
Right.
America controls the narrative, whether it be, well, when it's wrong, but because they're such deceitful and such the oppressor is the devil, that's his job to deceive, then the narrative changes from the evil that they commit and they try to make it look good. They try to make it look justified. First of all, him kidnapping the president of Venezuela and his wife, it is an act of war, and it is international breaking of the law. But he justified it by saying that the reasons he did it was because Maduro is he's calling them, they're not called narco traffickers anymore. Now they call them narco terrorists. You see how they changed in the narrative? Like, the true terrorists would go into your house and kidnap you.
Right.
You know what I mean? A true terrorist would bomb your capital city. You know what I mean? A true terrorist would put embargoes on your land so your people starve. You know what I mean? A true terrorist will go rob your oil tanks. You know what I mean? But you got that article or that summary? I want to bring this book up because it pertains to what is happening right now. The name of the book is called A Big White Lie. And we're just going to read you the summary of the book. We're not going to go through the whole book. But it's a good book, by the way. It tells you a lot of things that happen behind the scenes, behind the curtains, as far as America's involvement in our Latin countries, as far as their participation in narco trafficking and being narco terrorists themselves. But and of course, I'm not taking the heat of Maduro. He is a evil man too. You know what I mean? He oppresses his people. He's definitely involved in that. However, like, two wrongs don't make a right. Well, we need to make sure that we understand why this is happening and why it's happening to us now at this certain time. Go ahead, you call.
The Big White Lie is a nonfiction book by former DEA agent Michael Levine.
Right, nonfiction. Like, this is real. Like, these events happened. There's records of it. Some were declassified, some are still classified. But nonetheless, it did happen, and the guy was a DEA agent. Go ahead.
That exposes the CIA's alleged sabotage of the war on drugs during the 1980s. The book details his deep cover operations and how powerful U.S. government forces protected major drug traffickers for political and covert operation purposes.
Right, and this just happened recently. I think it's about 3 or a month ago, where Trump pardoned the former president of Honduras after he convicted him, after he went and arrested him and put him in jail for allegedly bringing tons. He used the word tons. You know, a ton is 2,000, right? So he's bringing tons of drugs to America, and then he got pardoned. I mean, that behavior alone is fishy. You know what I mean? Because he let him go knowing that he was a drug trafficker or drug terrorist, as he calls him. And he let him go just because, in my personal opinion, I think it's because, like, Honduras doesn't have many resources anymore. Like, they've been robbing us for hundreds and hundreds of years. Maybe we got bananas and coffee, you know what I mean? But Venezuela has oil, they got gold, they got silver, they have agriculture, they got, the world's largest oil, that's correct. Reservation, They have the world's largest, and just an interesting fact, I don't know if y'all might be familiar, there was the person that was running Venezuela before Nicolás Maduro, his name was Hugo Chavez. And if you ever get a chance, watch those discourses that he made in the UN, because he had like a personal vendetta against America. And even in his speeches at the UN, he will call American leaders and the country of America the devil.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, that is not, we say it as well, right? Because we find it in the Bible. But the world knows who the devil is.
Right.
You know what I mean? Just ask the Middle East. They say that the oppressor is the devil. Ask Africa. They'll tell you the same thing. Even Europeans themselves, the UN, they don't agree with how America is behaving right now. You know what I mean? So it's not a secret who the devil is, but that's why we're here to make sure the truth gets out there. You know, don't think for a second that everybody that because we gave. I need that scripture of the bypass. I mean the bywords. You know what I'm talking about?
Deuteronomy 28:37.
All right. So don't think for a second that because the president calls us traffickers, criminals, murderers, violators, things of that nature, right? That is all of us. So it is certain. It's a lot of us like that, but not all of us are like that. The majority of us come here to work, really.
Right.
Like we don't even come here to go to school. You know what I mean? We come here to work. You know what I mean? Get our papers right, go back home, or send money back home. Right. That's the majority of us. You know what I mean? But go ahead and read that scripture, bro.
Deuteronomy 28, verse 37.
Mm-hmm.
And thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb,
mm-hmm.
and a byword among all nations, whither the Lord shall lead thee.
Right. So that's exactly what this president has successfully done. He has, by giving us those names, by giving us those titles, he has successfully influenced the American patriots to hunt us down. You know what I mean? Because they're not hunting. Their pretext is that they're hunting down these criminals, right? But like I work with a lot of our people, you know what I mean? And they're here, they're not criminals from their countries. They're not even criminals here. You know what I mean? We know better than to get in trouble here because we will get deported. So that's not true, but because the oppressor is such a devil, he's managed to convince the American public or the patriots, you know, those who's he, Republican, right? They're Republican to carry out this. All right, hold on. He has convinced his party that we are what he says we are, what he claims us to be, and that's why we have those raids. Still, that's why we some of our people get deported to countries that don't belong in, that they're not nationals of. You know what I mean? And I just found this out the other day, that when our people get deported, they leave without their belongings, like your ID, your social, your money, your bank accounts, your cards. They just send you there with some clothes on. Yeah, with just some clothes on, bro. I just found this out the other day. Go ahead, 45.
Didn't they find some deportees that
they washed up on the ocean?
They washed up on the ocean.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But what I was saying is that's part of the curse.
Yeah, we're gonna get to that.
I was gonna say the Deuteronomy 28:45, which says, moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee,
right,
and shall pursue thee, and overtake thee till thou be destroyed, because thou hearkened not unto the voice of the Lord thy God to keep his commandments and his statutes which he commanded thee.
Right. And it does pursue us. It don't matter where we go. It don't matter if we're at home in our countries, which is not our home, by the way. Jerusalem is our home. Right. But it follows us there and it follows us here. You know what I mean? Like you can't escape it, because aside from the oppressor being the devil, that is also our punishment for not following the law, statutes, and commandments. And that is the solution. I think Christ said it's not grievous, right? Was it Christ?
It was, and the next verse of Salakia.
Go ahead.
Next verse.
Go ahead.
What I like about it, it says that's one of the reasons. Salakia, brother. And the next verse it says that it's a sign for us, you know. Right. So you got to make sure you tell all our people that these things are not happening to us in vain, because verse 46 says, and they shall be upon thee for a sign and a wonder, and upon thy seed forever. So that lets us know that we are God's chosen people, you know.
Yeah. And that is the sign us going through those things is
Chinese man.
exactly it's a sign for us to wake up, to do better, to become what God has, what God and Christ have ordered us to be, has ordered us to be perfect. You know what I mean? Like you said, a lot of these other nations, they don't go through that. You know what I mean? Yeah, I was just about to say that, because you know what I mean, Trump ain't over there bombing China or North Korea.
They're the ones bringing in fentanyl.
Yeah, they are.
They're the
Oh,
ones
yeah,
sending the fentanyl.
that's
So
correct.
Wars against fentanyl. How come you ain't bringing China?
That's correct. You know what I mean?
You know what I'm saying? That's come on, man.
Yeah, and I know it don't seem like it, right? It don't seem like the Middle East is the stronghold, but bro, this war has been going on for over 2 decades now.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like they're not letting up. You know what I mean? They get to fight back. We don't. We can't fight back. All we can do is get punished, get chastised, and get right with the Lord, so these things don't happen to us. You know what I mean? And I say we, that means like every Hispanic, Black, and Native American. But
This is the book of 1 John, chapter 5, verse 3. For this is the love of God, that we keep his commandments.
right, the love of God, that we keep his commandments. And that's what love is.
Right.
Love is following the law, statutes, and commandments. It's not quite necessarily hugs and kisses, you know what I mean, and celebrations and smiles and happiness. Because in the beginning, it is hard. It is difficult to keep the law, statutes, and commandments because we've been not following them our whole lives.
Right.
So it becomes a tendency. It's part of our second nature. But once you get it, like once you start following them, that becomes second nature. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like he was talking about the green leafy things, right? Like you're thinking, you know what I mean? Like there's not, like we found out we can eat it, right? But you're thinking like, man, that might be a sin. Like, let me get this information right. You know what I mean? But another thing though is that we know the difference between right and wrong.
Right.
Like nobody has to tell us not to kidnap people. I mean, nobody has to tell us not to unalive people or to steal or to do drugs or traffic them. Nobody has to tell us not to be alcoholics. You know what I mean? Like we know that. But somebody needs to tell the oppressor that he can't be doing that. Because if nobody does, if the UPK and the Commander General Yohana, if we don't bring those things out, they're gonna continue to do it.
Right.
You know what I mean? And we're gonna continue to be blind to it. You know what I mean? Was that on? Oh, you got more, right?
And his commandments are not grievous.
Right. That's what I was saying. Like, it's not, at one point, it just becomes second nature, man. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's something I love about Officer Capiar, man. Like, I really believe that the brother's perfect, brother. Because he is meticulous about the scriptures. Like, any little thing that he doesn't quite know whether it should be done or not, he goes to the higher man and asks for guidance. You know what I mean? Go ahead now with the article. I mean the summary.
Summary?
Yeah.
Oh, that was it, sir.
That was it?
That was it.
Okay. Well, I read some operations that they had. The men worked deep undercover, posting as high-level mafioso to infiltrate powerful South American cocaine organizations. So the man is doing his job in the book. You know what I mean? He got sent there to do his job. And in doing so, doing his job, he started to notice that these agencies, and it's not only CIA, like I know that the FBI is also international. They can work outside of America. I mean, it's they are in bed with these people. Like the article, I mean, the summary was saying that they help these traffickers hide or even pay them. They be on the payroll too. I mean, and so reading this book, because I read this book, I learned that those kind of, especially drugs, anything that's substance, right? Anything that messes with your body and the chemicals in your mind, like they're designed to keep you down. You know what I mean? like especially when you abuse it. You know what I mean? Especially when you smoke it. You know what I mean? Like there's nothing wrong with certain herbs, right? Because they're for medicinal purposes. But because these people have infiltrated our lands and they started programs like they did in Bolivia and Colombia, where they went to the Andes. You're familiar with that? They went to the Andes and started experimenting with the coca leaf. They started experimenting with the coca leaf on the natives of the land. You know what I mean? To see how their bodies react. And they saw that, okay, like we can use this to destroy them here and in America. I mean, like they are the terrorists, they are the narco traffickers because they started that whole movement. You know, we just perpetrated because we learn from them. Everything that's wicked, we learn from them. Right. Because in the beginning, it wasn't like that. In the beginning, we knew the law, statutes, and commandments. We knew not to anger our God. You know what I mean? But then we saw them and how they came up, and we saw all the riches that they got from it. We saw that they became, they became a mighty nation on the earth. You know what I mean? They became, this is the biggest and strongest empire on the planet to date. You know what I mean? But that's about to end soon when they cut the power out. I don't know if y'all been keeping up with current events, but that's coming. Right. Oh, but I was talking about Hugo Chavez real quick before we get into scriptures. He said in one of his UN speeches, right, after calling the oppressor the devil and whatnot, he said that this empire, because he calls it empire as well, or he used to when he was alive. He said that this empire has between 10 to 15 years left of their own oil. And he said once they start running out, that's when they're going to start invading. He called it. That's when they're going to invade Colombia, Bolivia, Venezuela. You know what I mean? He called it. He knows that. And Trump knows it. He knows that they're running out of oil, bro. Yeah. And so does Russia. So does China. So does Iran. What am I missing? North Korea. I mean, they know this. And, you know, they got the EMPs ready. I mean, go ahead.
It's like, if I may.
What's that?
That's why they're fracking.
Fracking?
They're fracking. That, you know what fracking is, right?
No.
Where they shoot basically acid inside they drill the hole for the oil, right? And they shoot basically acid inside the hole to crack the rocks around it. To crack the rocks, and they can just seep out the little oil that's in between the rocks.
Yeah, petroleum.
The petroleum, right? They can seep it out, so they can just squeeze, like basically squeezing the earth. You know what I mean?
They're thirsty.
Yeah, because it's not like in West Texas, they found a big shell, right? It's a big shell, and it's exactly what it sounds like. It's a shell. It's like an encasing of rock.
Yeah.
And in the middle of it, there's water, but in the shell itself, there's little pockets of oil. So what they do is they drill into the shell and they frack it. It cracks it puts cracks into the ground.
Yeah.
So they can see, pump that oil out.
Man.
And they say that there's 70 years of, supposedly this is what the geologist said, right? That there's 70 years worth of oil in that shell, but it's not really an aqueduct of water,
right?
Like they got aqueducts of water underneath the earth, right, where it's like pools of water. They have aqueducts of oil where it's like a pool of oil underneath the ground. It's not an aqueduct. It's just like little like little streams, not streams, but little puddles inside the rocks. So what they do is they're basically squeezing the earth, and they wonder why there's so much earthquakes.
Right. Yeah, that affects the environment.
Right.
Not just the earthquakes too, but like vegetation and the land itself. Yeah, that's and another thing he said that I didn't think about until I heard that speech was that Venezuela is so rich with petroleum that they have enough for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years. America won't got enough for the next 5 more, maybe. You know what I mean?
That's why they're fracking everywhere.
Yeah, that's why they robbing Venezuela. That's exactly what it was. That was a heist on some like the most, like on a professional level. You know what I mean? That was a heist, bro. Let's not forget to mention the citizens that were harmed and unalived in the process of that raid.
Right.
You know what I mean? Or to over 200. And the boats, the fisher boats that they've been bombing since August. Like, this is not new. They've been doing that since August of last year. Is it?
Venezuela is
Naphtali? I think it's Naphtali.
Yeah.
They're not just bombing people, they're bombing us.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Throw that
And-
on there. Let them know who they
And
are.
you know what's worse though? Like, for now, because now we're about to get into scriptures. For now, America is going unchecked. Like, nobody is standing up to this man or to this empire, right? For now. But check out what the scripture says, because this is nothing new to us. We have a whole book about this, about our condition and how to fix it, and what's going to happen next and what has already happened. You know what I mean? So go to 2 Maccabees, chapter 7, verse 31. Because the scriptures tell us everything we need to know. That's why, like, I mean, there's nothing wrong with going.
2 Maccabees 7:31.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with like reading other books as far as like to get into a knowledge about the world, right, and politics and whatnot. But there's everything wrong with like dismissing what is in the Bible. You know what I mean? Like, there's everything wrong about not reading this from front to back. You know what I mean? Because this is all we need for real. I think even in the book it tells you don't got to go outside of it.
Right.
I mean, it's not necessary, but it's not a sin. But I'm just saying everything we need to know is in here. Go ahead.
The book of 2 Maccabees 7:31.
Right.
And thou that has been the author of all mischief,
The author of all honesty,
the author of all mischief,
all good things,
the author of all mischief,
peace,
mischief,
war,
mischief,
right? Mischief. That's
that's a
well,
big
we
word.
gotta look at the definition. Like, I know what it means, right? Like, it's like a whole evil,
trickery,
entire mess. Like,
yeah.
So, all right, go ahead.
And thou that has been the author of all mischief against the Hebrews.
See, that's when you said in the beginning of class who the Hebrews are and who the Jews are, right? Nowhere in this scripture is talking about the Hamites, the Canaanites, the Egyptians,
Chinese, and
It's-
none of them are getting hit.
and this is very particular. It says Hebrews, so he's talking about this man of mischief, right? Against the mischief that this person causes against the Hebrews. Go ahead.
The author of all mischief against the Hebrews shall not escape the hands of God.
Right. Like, our cries, the Lord hears it. The Lord sees it. I mean, right here in the scriptures is telling us that this author of mischief, they can't escape the hands of God. Like, there's no hiding. You know what I mean? There's no underground bunker that you can hide from God in. You know what I mean? There's no weapon or technology that exists that can fight with the Most High. You know what I mean? And it's in here. It's telling us right now for what they do against our people, like, they're not going to escape what God got coming to them. All right, go ahead. 32.
For we suffer because of our sins.
Once again, that's just letting us know again that the reason why this mischief is happening to us, the reason why we're getting robbed, the reason why we're getting thrown out of planes and end up in ashore, I mean, the reason why they pollute our communities, our barrios, our ghettos, our reservations with drugs and alcohol and guns and violence and anything ungodly, is because of our sins. You know what I mean? Go ahead.
Verse 33. And though the living Lord be angry with us a little while for our chastening, and correction.
Right. This is our chastening and correction. This is your punishment and you being corrected. The Hebrews are being corrected. You know what I mean? The Chinese are not being corrected yet. You know what I mean? America's not being corrected yet, but it's coming. We just read that in the verse before it. That's coming. But for now, we are being corrected. We are being chastised. And this is who the Most High put in charge to deliver that chastisement. You know what I mean? Go ahead.
Yet shall he be at one again with his servants.
With his servants. Again, the Hebrews, the Jews, we are the servants. Other nations cannot serve him because they're not meant. Like he didn't assign them to be his servants. I mean, in this case, he assigned them to be our punishing stick. You know what I mean? Go ahead.
Verse 34.
Go to 35.
Verse 35. For thou hast not yet escaped the judgment of Almighty God.
The Almighty, the Most High is the judge. He is the court. He is the jury in this matter. You know what I mean? Like he's not going to ask a jury of their peers, like, should I punish him or not? I mean, he's going to deliver that judgment. I mean, we are living our judgment now. I mean, that's why when we pass away, you know that we go back to the Most High, right? And then you get your judgment and then try again. Do it better this time. You know what I mean? Go ahead.
Who seeth all things.
Yeah, you can't hide it, man. Like this empire is very good at deceiving. Like they're deceiving us with the news right now. People are buying it. Like people are convinced that this man is justified in his actions. America is convinced. Yeah, they love him, bro. And you know what it doesn't make me angry anymore. It just makes me sad that our own people love him too. You know what I mean? A lot of those ICE agents are our people, bro. And that hurts me, man. I take that personal. You know what I mean? Like, have some pride, bro.
What did the Cubanos have over there? The Latinos for Trump?
Yeah. Boricuas did too.
Boricuas and a lot of, man, a lot of Mexicans too were here in San Antonio were voting for Trump.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Everybody was all happy because of even the, what's it called? The stimulus check. Man, sellouts.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that because that is another thing that was distracting at the time. You know what I mean? And like now, I don't know, like you be watching the news, you gotta try to keep up with current events, bro. Like more than ever, because this is it's about to get out of hand. But so remember they were supposed to release the Epstein files, right? I don't see that anymore on the news, on TikTok, Facebook, because what happened in Venezuela overshadowed that. You know what I mean? Yeah. And Maduro just said that, I think it was yesterday morning or this morning. He said that this morning. He said that that was an excellent distraction from the Epstein files. And he's right. Like, nobody cares about that now.
He also said that what's it called? Those fake Jewish, the Jewish, not the real Jews.
Yeah.
That's said it publicly. I thought that was one of the main reasons why he really died.
Hugo Chavez said the same thing. Yeah. He knew that the true Hebrew, the true Jews were here in the Americas. He said that a lot in a lot of his interviews, a lot of his discourses at the UN. Another one that said it, and he brought the receipts. I don't know if you remember when Vladimir Putin started showing the priests.
Black Madonna.
Yeah.
Black Madonna.
And like he brought out the receipts. You know what I mean? Like, but
he was
and
all the things for black, everything.
Yeah, that's why we got. When you get a chance, look at the book we have in the bag. It's called Russian Icons.
Like my skin color or darker.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
All the priests.
All of
them. Go ahead.
Verse 36. For our brethren who now have suffered a short pain, are dead under God's covenant of everlasting life. But thou, through the judgment of God, shall receive just punishment for thy pride.
Yeah, and that's something that this empire and their leaders have a lot of, bro. Is pride. You know what I mean? Like, just look how you can tell a lot about how a person feels or how they are just by their body language. I'm saying, so like when you see Trump speaking right at the podium, wherever, you know what I mean, the meetings, the podium, the White House, that hallway that they always do them speeches in, addressing the union, like he is very boastful, bro. You know what I mean? He's very prideful. And so are his counterparts, J.D. Vance, Marco Rubio. You know what I mean? Marco Rubio is disgusting, bro. Because just last year he was talking mad ill about Trump. Now they damn near best friends. Anyways, let me see. We got more on that. Nah, that's good on that. Nation overseas. All right, let me get it's 32, 31. Let me get all right, let me go to Deuteronomy 28 and 47.
Deuteronomy 28, verse 47. Because thou servest not the Lord thy God with joyfulness and with gladness of heart, for the abundance of all things.
Yeah, we could have abundance in our own resources. We could have an abundance of everything we need, but because we didn't follow our God, I mean, not the God of these other nations, because they have different gods. Even the God of America is not the same as ours. You know how on the bills it says, "In God we trust." Then this is a predominantly Christian country. You know what I mean? But they just like their God. Who they just Janus? That's the name of the New Year's God. Like they always worship in a different God. You know what I mean? I think it's Janus. And then they was worshiping another one called Saint Nicholas. Then they worship another one called the Easter Bunny. Then they worship another one that's called the American flag. You know what I mean? Like all of these things is not this God. That's why it's specific here. Because thou servest not the Lord thy God. You know what I mean? That's our God. You know what I mean? Their God, we have no business with their gods. First of all, because they don't exist. You know what I mean? But that's how they run their country. You know what I mean? That's what they do. But that's not our culture.
That's crazy because it says right there.
And
that's crazy, brother, because it says for the abundance of all things.
The abundance.
Man, so
unlimited.
Not even because we're gonna be abundant in all things we serve him.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. We're not gonna lack in anything. I mean, definitely not oil.
Shall serve thine enemy.
Yeah.
48 is cool.
Yeah. Go ahead, read it.
Deuteronomy 28, verse 48. Therefore, thou shalt serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee in hunger and in thirst and in nakedness.
Right, hold on. So, and this is exactly what's about to go down, or it's already going down with Venezuela. I'm going to keep using Venezuela, but I also mean the rest of Latin America and the rest of America. Yeah, all the Americas, because we're everywhere. Shit, the whole planet, bro, because we got people in Europe. I mean, we got people in Northern Africa. I don't know about Middle East, West Africa. That's my bad. What I say, North? No, yeah, you're right, West. That's where a lot of us came from. Some of us came from there too. You know what I mean?
What do they call it? The slave coast.
Yeah.
It's called the slave coast in West Africa.
Yeah, a lot of our Judites brothers were there, and in Europe. But you know what I mean? That's not to say like we're not still there. You know what I mean? We're scattered all over the four corners of the earth. Exactly. Yeah. The transatlantic slave trade, sub-Saharan slave trade. Mm-hmm.
Us in America, they used to slave the natives and
Send them to Europe. Yeah, I'm familiar with that.
We went and we fought against the
Mm-hmm.
Filipino.
Yeah, or just to go over there and work their fields. You know, there's one thing I know about the oppressor, and this is not me talking ill. Like, this is a fact, because you see it, I see it. Anybody that is a hard worker, a laborer in any field, whether it be a restaurant, construction, you know what I mean, anything that requires work, they're not good at it. You know what I mean? If they do it, they do it like halfway. I mean, yeah, that's what I was just thinking.
They'll bring the biggest, tallest white guy or whatever.
Going against one of ours, like
a little guy,
like this big,
wielding a hammer with one hand.
Yeah, like it's cakework, bro.
They can't make it.
They can't. They don't have that spirit, bro. They don't have that spirit, but they do definitely have an unaliving spirit. They definitely have a lying spirit, a deceitful spirit. I say unaliving. They have just there's devilish spirit, man. Like, they have a wicked spirit. Go ahead.
In hunger and in thirst, and in nakedness,
yeah,
and in want of all things.
Right. And if you saw the videos when Maduro got kidnapped, the streets of Caracas and all Venezuela, they were celebrating. They were celebrating that happened to him. But right, exactly. And this is telling us right now that once, like, for now, the smoke is settling. Once it settles, Trump already said it, that he's going to be running the show for now until he finds the people that he wants to govern there. You know what I mean? The vice president already stepped up, and she is just like Maduro, bro. Like, all those people in those offices, in those high places in that country, like, they're all in, for lack of a better term, in cahoots. They're in bed with each other. So nothing has changed until Trump finds who he wants to appoint to run it. And then all those oil companies, all those fields, all those places that have resources, they're going to be owned by this empire. And then the workers are going to be our people. We're going to be wanting, we're going to be sent against in hunger and in thirst and nakedness and in want of all things. So we still, nobody got liberated. You know what I mean? Like I was saying, the videos that we did at the beginning of class, I said that we escape from one hell to another. You know what I mean? That's not even escaping. We just get transferred. You know what I mean? It's a transfer of powers. Yeah. The transfer of power, bro. And that's what's going to happen with them. That's what's going to happen with us. That's what's happening to us here. You know, that's nothing new. You know, I mean, everything that we work for, we give it right back to them. You know, whether it be with the bills, taxes. We don't have our own supermarkets and grocery stores. You know, what I mean? It's we don't have like big major car dealerships. You know what I mean? Most of this land here is owned by the Jewish, right? It's owned by the Jewish or by Elon Musk. Did you know that? Elon Musk, he owns states, bro. Yeah, he owns land in states. Anyway, I got distracted. I'm back. Go ahead.
And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee.
Right, and that's so literal and spiritual, because that really happened. They put yokes around our necks. They put chains around our necks. You know what I mean? When they were transferring us. You know what I mean? And they do that now too, just like I was saying earlier, by us working. You know what I mean? Working for nothing that belongs to us, nothing for our community, just to give it back. That's that yoke. That's that oppression. Go ahead.
The Lord verse 49. The Lord shall bring a nation against thee from far, from the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle flieth.
Right. And this is more pertaining to what happened to our Native American brothers, or what happened to us here in the Americas, Central and South and North. I mean, a whole nation of people that we know. Yeah, various continents. You know, because Europe, Africa, I mean, Asia, they're involved too. And he's saying a whole different nation that, you know what I mean, they hate us so much that they crossed the whole ocean, you know what I mean, just to come and commit the crimes that they're continuing to do now. You know what I'm saying? He just saying, the Lord just sent this nation to South America. He just sent them a couple of days ago. A couple years ago, actually. But they've been there. They've been there since they 14. Yeah. But
Mexican guerrilla still.
Exactly.
A little bit of the Mexican.
Yeah.
Guerrilla.
Yeah. Also, but you can't. You know how impossible it would be to invade Mexico, bro. It'll be impossible, bro, because they're not sloppy criminals. This is organized crime, bro. A lot of these people are former operatives in the military.
You get trained by the people here.
Exactly. I was about to say that. The CIA, FBI, they trained them too, thinking, and they did that in the Middle East too. They tried to train them, right? Thinking that they were going to turn around and fight terrorists, but they went and taught the so-called terrorists everything that America taught them. You know what I mean? And they do it in Mexico too. But, yeah, that's, they're bad. They're not bad, but they're they're legit. Yeah, they're legit, bro. Yeah, I just got nothing on them. No. Go ahead.
Was I on 49, right?
Yeah.
I'm just gonna read it again. For the Lord shall bring a nation against thee from far, from the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle flieth.
All right, hold on. As swift as the eagle flieth. I learned here in the school that a lot of that's in the scriptures, like a lot of symbolism is involved, is in there. A lot of symbolism is important in the Bible because these are metaphors. These are Spanish, blacks, and natives writing these things down. And we don't talk, you know what I mean? We don't talk like they taught us or tried to teach us or force us to speak. You know what I mean? And that's there's a science behind that. The reason why we talk slang, the reason why we talk the way we talk, and not how they forced us to at the beginning, is because we had to be subtle and discreet about our communication. You know what I mean? Because they don't understand that.
We use the word águila.
Right.
Mexico. Hey, águila.
Yeah.
Watch out for a look. Somebody that's swift.
Yeah. So we don't.
Gaviota. Hey, he's a gaviota.
Yeah,
gaviota
but
means that you're smart.
Yeah.
Mexican.
Exactly, but as the eagle flies, we know that that's a symbol. That's a Roman symbol. First of all, they had in all their I forgot what their troops were called, the legions. I mean, they carried the pole with the eagle on it. Yeah, a lot of the legions had that, and this is like what's left of Rome, and they have the eagle everywhere. I think that's their bird, right?
That's like a sign of who they are, like, you know what I'm saying?
And
like their symbol.
Yeah, because in the sky, like the eagle rules. He has no competitors. Like there's no apex predator aside from the eagle, and that's how they are.
Crazy. They want to be in the sky like the Most High. That's crazy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they started that crap in Babel. Remember Babel? They really tried that, bro.
I know, man. They really tried to make a skyscraper all the way up there.
That's so silly, bro. I think when I was there, I was like, y'all some fools, man. What's wrong with y'all?
It was everybody, though.
Yeah, it was everybody. That's why everybody started speaking different languages. So they stopped doing it. They couldn't communicate the orders to get it done. Go ahead.
A nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand.
Mhm. Go ahead.
A nation of fierce continents,
Yeah.
which shall not regard which shall not regard the person of the old, nor shew favor to the young.
Right. Fierce continents, man. Like they had like imagine seeing, first of all, like when they got here, I could just imagine our ancestors like looking at the ocean, like why don't they got color? You know what I mean? Like why they look so pale? And a lot of them got scared because they thought they were dead. You know what I mean? Fierce continents, you know what I mean? They come in with their steel, with their brass, with their iron. You know what I mean? Opposed to us, we use nature. You know what I mean? We made swords out of volcanic rock. I forgot what
Obsidian.
yeah, that. How you say it?
Obsidian.
Obsidian. Yeah, that shit could chop a horse's head off.
Man,
You know what I mean?
like, I call it the Aztec machete.
Yeah, that's exactly.
Wood with a whole bunch of pieces.
Yeah, that's where I learned it.
Yeah.
From watching Mayan documentaries. I mean, Aztec.
Sharper than a scalpel.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Like
we use
sharper than a scalpel or like a scalpel. I don't know. I'm not.
Yeah. We use bows and arrows. You know what I mean? We even use the terrain, or you know what I mean, the woods. Like we use nature, but these guys came with heavy weapons. You know what I mean? They came with shields and helmets. You know what I mean? And you know what I mean, that was, it had to happen. You know what I mean? Because we just read it for our sins. That was going to happen. But that's how they came here, man. They were terrifying. You know what I mean? And then they also brought disease. You know what I mean? Because they're nasty.
Someone I like to throw in because they used to never shower.
Exactly. That's where it came from, bro. Like you're
shower once a week.
Yeah, they thought silly things like it takes away part of your spirit, taking a shower. I mean, they thought, you know what I mean? Like, you ever seen in the
we had toothpaste.
Yeah.
We had our own toothpaste.
Yeah, we had beard oils, we had hair oils,
We'd take 2 showers
soap. You know what I mean?
Aqueducts.
Yeah.
You don't take your poop somewhere in the water.
Yeah, we had plumbing. Yeah, we had plumbing. They did it, but they used to sit at the edge of their window. They used to sit at the edge of their windows.
Oh yeah, in the what's it
in
called?
Europe.
That was in the dark ages.
Yeah, bro. You know, another disgusting thing I learned about these people, bro, and this kind of made me accept that you ever seen those European women back in the day where they wore the big dress that make their behind look bigger?
Oh, yeah.
Bro, they would have our children underneath there to collect their waste because they couldn't take all that stuff off, and that thing is heavy. I mean, it's made out of metal. Yeah, that shit that makes them look. They will have our children down there with a bucket or a paila or a little container to collect their waste. I mean, how evil and disgusting is that, bro? But we did ask for it though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But now here in the school, we're not even asking, we beseech you. You know what I mean? We beseech you to stop committing this, stop sinning, stop pissing the Lord off, bro. Because he punishes you individually, but we get punished as a family, bro. Like one of us, you know how one of us can mess it up for all? That's how this works. You know what I mean? I mean, like Nicolas Maduro is one of us. He just messed it up for a whole continent because he wants to be a trafficker. I mean, he wants to be filthy rich. I mean, he wants to oppress his people. I mean, and America is also to blame though too. They put embargoes on him, and they did that. If you're not, I think you should be familiar with this. They did that when the Romans conquered Judea. They put embargoes on the city. They didn't let nobody leave, and they didn't let nobody in. You know what I mean? So like once they started running out of food, you couldn't leave to go to the next city or the next nation to go buy. You know what I mean? And they couldn't give you anything back. They starved them out. And this just happened with him too. They starved them out. You saw that blockade they did, right? With all the warships.
Oh yeah.
Like, yeah. That's all he has. There's oil to sell. I mean petroleum. And they were he said some disgusting stuff. He was like, they asked him, what are you gonna do with the tanks that you see? He was like, we're gonna use it. We're gonna keep it. That's called theft. He didn't buy that. He stole it. Anyway, my bad. Go ahead with what we stop at 40, 50?
A nation who shall tongue, 50.
Yeah.
In a fierce continent. 51.
It
says
which shall not regard.
Yeah, that's what I was at. I'm gonna read it all again.
Go ahead.
Verse 50. A nation of fierce continents which shall not regard the person of the old, nor shew favor to the young.
Right. You know, especially amongst our people, Hispanic, Blacks, and Native Americans, like you have to regard some kind of decorum and respect for your elders, right? They won't like that. You know what I mean? You have to protect the children. They didn't care about that either, man. They didn't care who you was. They didn't care if you were the chief of the tribe. They don't care if you're the president of this country. They don't care. You know what I mean? They definitely showed it in the Middle East. They don't care if you're a child or woman. I mean, they're just, especially the state of Israel, bro. Like what they did to the Palestinians. Yeah.
Shit. We don't have to go that far. Here in Texas, when it was the Mexican-American War, Mexico had kids, you know what I'm saying, fighting against Americans, and they were killing women and children.
Yeah,
you know, the Mexican Adelitas were women soldiers in the Mexican army, and they were getting, gunned down too, women, and that's why in Mexico, I think they had an order that women and children were to fight, like get ready against the white man, because they weren't sparing anybody.
Yeah, yeah, they have no compassion, bro. And that's crazy. And it's not crazy.
The Texas massacre that they had here in South Texas, where they hung a bunch of young Mexicans.
Yeah.
So
I'm gonna say, like for being a Christian country and for believing in God, as they claim, they have no compassion, bro. They have no compassion. Only a wicked man will do the wickedness that he does.
13-year-old, bro.
No compassion, bro.
Starting shit at a church.
And it was a church. It was a mission.
Even at that, it was one of the smallest churches.
Yeah.
One of the smallest churches here in San Antonio. They started shit.
Yeah, but Mexico held it down though.
Yeah, we held it down on this one, but we ended up losing.
Yeah. But I mean, like, and we know that story. That was a righteous cause for what Isupk did.
But we didn't do it for God.
Exactly.
That's where we messed up.
Yeah. But this ought to serve as a sign. You know what I mean? That's our sign to get it right this time. You know what I mean? To keep showing that compassion that we show here. No, it's like I meant to say that brotherhood that we show here. You know what I mean? I know me personally, bro, and I think you might have picked up now, but I know I managed to anger a lot of brothers in the school because of my behavior, bro. And they still, you know what I mean? They don't. And they still show me love, though. You know what I mean? They still tell me, like, keep the law, statutes, and commandments. They still mess with me, man. You know what I mean? And that's the kind of brother we have here, opposed to a brotherhood in the Christian church. I mean, if you go in there with substance abuse problems and if you are a thief or whatever, you know what I mean? If you're not what they deem as righteous, like they ain't gonna help you. They're gonna tell you once you get clean, then come back. You know what I mean? Or they're gonna cause you to sin and tell you, let me baptize you so you be clean. So you'll be a cleaner. You mean so you'll be a wet drug addict. I mean, I think that's enough on that. Now you know what? Let's keep going. 51.
verse 51. And he shall eat the fruit of thy cattle and the fruit of thy land until thou be destroyed.
Yeah. And that's something that he's been doing to us since he came here. Before he came here, when we were in Egypt, he was doing that. When we were in Jerusalem, he was doing that. You know what I mean? And that is why the topic is like the history of terrorism. Like that's terrorism, bro. You know what I mean? Like what we do in our communities is such on a low level. You know what I mean? Like it's just crime. I mean, like, we do commit crime, but you know what I mean? Like that's just because of the condition that we're in. And because we want to get out of that condition. So we think crime, and unfortunately, the stars that we look up to, like our musicians, even our athletes, you know what I mean? Like they're all about that paper. You know what I mean? And if you know the scriptures, the love of money is the root of all evil. People do wicked things for that check. You know what I mean? Our people, we compromise our morals and values for that check. I'm saying we miss camp, you know what I mean, for our check. You know what I mean? It's terrible that we have to go through that, bro. But I said, man, here in the school, like, this is the only way back. It's not. Man, I've studied and tried going to other places. Like, there's no going back there. You're just gonna end up in a worse than when you started. You know what I mean? So they're gonna eat the fruit of the cattle, the fruit of the land until that be destroyed. So that's terrorism, but like they're taking your cattle. You want to enjoy a good steak unless you go to Passover. You know what I mean? Because this is expensive. You know what I mean? Like they're gonna take all that from us. They're gonna take our land until you destroy it completely. That is an act of terrorism. I mean, go ahead.
Which also shall not leave thee either corn, wine, or oil, or the increase of thy kind, or flocks of thy sheep, until he have destroyed thee.
Yeah. And that's not necessarily saying that they did this with the buffalo here. You know what I mean? They were killing them by the millions so that our Native Americans, brothers and sisters, couldn't eat or have clothes because they used their hide.
And I heard that's the story of why we eat menudo, because we wouldn't sell us the meat.
Yeah.
We only sell us the innards.
Yeah.
The Spanish might have.
Yeah.
Here you can only have the stomach, the shit that wasn't good. And
That's slave food. You know what I mean?
Menudo is slave food.
Yeah. So it's fried chicken. You know what I mean? So it's I'm not fried chicken. I mean like chicken wings, and you know what I mean? You eat the little parts of the chicken.
What do we call them? Tripas.
Tripas, yeah. I mean,
we eat tripas. Remember the tripas? Cool. With us Mexicans, we eat tripas and we fry them.
Yeah.
And it has poop in them, bro.
That's you gotta wash it.
You gotta wash it.
Yeah, that's this. Yeah.
The same thing for menudo. It's the stomach. You got fucking worms in it. Well, not all of you, but some.
Yeah. But that's slave food, bro. Like that's what we're resorting to. And here they even taking our corn. I mean, our wine, our oil. I mean, they're taking our flock, our sheep, for that purpose, to destroy you. I mean, and that is, by the way, terrorism is not just a label. It's a kind of warfare. I mean, terrorism comes with war. I mean, you put fear in the people you're trying to conquer. You know what I mean? That's why they called Bin Laden and his men terrorists, because they came over here and, you know what I mean? They bombed buildings, important buildings nonetheless. You know what I mean? And they called them terrorists for that reason, because they use fear, you know what I mean, as a tactic of war. And that's what they're doing here too. Like the fear of not obeying them, because they're gonna take our sheep, you know what I mean? They're gonna take our oils, our wine, they're gonna take our land. But you know what I mean, as long as we obey them and as long as we stay under their thumb, then we could get some menudo. You know what I mean? We can get some chitlins, which is unlawful. You know what I mean? Gizzards. You know what I mean? Like chicken feet. You know what I mean? shit like that. I mean, like I know. Hey, that's kind of good though.
No, we like barbacoa.
Yeah.
They didn't like
Yeah, that's the face. It used to be the face.
face, cheek, tongue,
Yeah,
brain.
yeah. But I would use the whole cow. I do too. I ain't gonna lie. Yeah, bro. Like I can't eat a meal without a tortilla. And you need corn for that. You know what I mean? Or wheat for the flour ones. And that's how that's what they got into that point here in the scriptures. You know what I mean? To that point of just pure destruction, man. Like damn, not even a little bit, like not even one calf. You know what I mean? Not even one lamb. I mean, they take everything from us. It is. That's why we gotta get right, so we can get it back and keep it this time. Under the covenant. You know what I mean? Under God's, the Most High's protection. You know what I mean? But here in the school, we don't go hungry. So it's always gonna be a brother that'll get you right. You know what I mean? We ain't gonna end up on the streets here. We're not gonna end up homeless. We always got that brotherhood that keeps this like the only righteous place on the planet. Go ahead.
Verse 52. And he shall besiege thee in all thy gates.
Yeah, and all your strongholds. I mean, and all your gates, like what keeps you protected from foreigners, from terrorists, from criminals. You know what I mean? They're gonna go through your gates. They're gonna besiege you. They're gonna conquer you at your own gates. I mean, in your own countries, in your own lands. Go ahead.
Until thy high and fenced walls come down, wherein thou trustest throughout all thy land.
Right. Go ahead.
And he shall besiege thee in all thy gates throughout all thy land, which the Lord thy God had given thee.
Mm-hmm. At one point, when we were following the law, statutes, and commandments, those things belonged to us. You know what I mean? And then once we started rebelling, once we started sinning, once we started going against our God and following their gods, you know what I mean? Because at one point we had to surrender or die, you know, especially with the Spaniards, because they pushed that Christianity and that Catholicism by terrorizing us. If you ain't follow that, if you ain't worship white Jesus, if you ain't worship and pray to White Mary, if you ain't if you ain't get baptized, if you ain't change your name, if you ain't change your language, yeah. Mm-hmm. And if you ain't, if you ain't comply with what they commanded of us, then they had torture devices. You know what I mean? I forgot what it's called, but there was one that we were terrified of, because it's like a casket with like nails, like needles. Yeah, you stand on it and they slowly close it until you say, "I repent," or "I accept white Jesus," or "I accept the Pope." You know what I mean? They'll do those things. A lot of our people, like Tupac Amaru, the Peruvian, yeah, the Peruvian. That's the part of the Andes he was from. You know what I mean? Like that brother was so solid, he was so strong, bro. They couldn't choke him. I mean, no, I'm tripping. They couldn't pull him apart. They tied him up to 4 horses, each limb. And Incas were not, they were warriors too. You know what I mean? All of our people were warriors at one point. They couldn't handle him. So they burned his wife. You know what I mean? Oh yeah, I know you guys.
Man, there's a whole bunch of them.
Yeah.
The one that I like the most is I can't remember his name right now, but it's he's I think he was in Cuba, and they have a statue of him, and because the Spaniards went over there and they were asking him he was asking them, when I die, if I'm a Christian, are the Christians gonna go to heaven? And then he said, And he said, "Nah, then I don't want to. Then I don't want to go to. I don't want to go to Chris. I don't want. I'm gonna go to hell because I don't want to be wherever."
They
What?
said, yeah. They was like, yeah.
What?
The Christians will be in heaven.
Christians will be in heaven. That's what they said. But he said, then I want to go to hell. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't want to be over there with none of the Christians. He's real famous, and and he has a statue. Man, he was another one of the cold ass brothers.
It'll come back to me.
Yeah, he'll come back to.
I know exactly what you're talking about. But yeah, bro, like so they no, I think you're right, Cuban. Yeah, I think Atuay.
Atuay, I think was his name.
That sounds familiar. But I was gonna say, you know what I mean? Like that's their history. That's terrorism, bro. You know what I mean? Like what we're doing, even the process that it takes to get narcotics up here, that's not terrorism. Right. You know what I mean? Like the biggest consumers of those things are oppressors. All right. There is in Cuba, right?
Yeah, Guanábana.
That sounds cool. Oh, no, they're Tainos too, though. Cubans are Tainos.
Everybody.
Over there, they're Tainos.
Like Canoe to present day Canoe to Cuba. He lived. You want me to read it?
Go ahead.
It says he lived from late 15th until the 16th century. Chief Atuay and many of his tribesmen traveled from present-day La Gonave by canoe to Cuba to warn the Taino in Cuba about the Spaniards that were arriving to conquer the island.
Right. Yeah, that's
He's a national hero, and they have a statue of him burning when they were burning him.
Mm-hmm. No, man, that's terrorism. That sounds like terrorism.
Yeah,
that sounds like foul play. You know what I mean? Like there's are you familiar with the Geneva Convention? So the Geneva Convention was a document that the United Nations created, and it's the rules of engagement, the rules of war. I mean, the only country that I know right now that doesn't apply with those things is America. Most of the rest, they follow it. Oh, and Israel too. I mean, they were bombing schools and hospitals not too long ago. I mean, you're supposed to. That's part of the rules.
They were bombing where they go and get food. That's all.
Yeah,
like
they were starving
to be a neutral,
a sovereign state. Sovereignty, yeah.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean, like that's nothing new, bro. Like you know what I mean, like what's happening now has been happening to us since before these things were written. You know what I mean? It's been happening to us since, and it'll continue to happen until we get right, until we start following the law, statutes, and commandments, which we just read. Like it's not grievous. I mean, once you start doing anything, it becomes a pattern, bro. Like, and it'll feel weird not to do it. You know what I mean? In our case, like it's like well, in my case, right? If I were to do something I'm supposed to, which I've done before, I ain't gonna lie. I stopped though, but I used to be like, I'm about to do this. Ah, man, I just hope the Lord don't see it. Like an idiot, you know what I mean? You can't hide from the Lord, nigga.
And it put me in the hospital just 3 days ago.
Right. You know what I mean? Yeah, I told you that day that I prayed, right? I prayed for my health, right? And, yeah, man. The next day I was in the hospital. But they fixed me up though. You know what I mean? But that's because I really believe in our God, man. And I knew he was gonna give me some way, so how? Not like that though.
I didn't know he had to show me.
Right.
For real.
Exactly. Yeah, they besiege our gates. They yeah, man, like they're the biggest terrorists, bro. Like the biggest, and I'm gonna start calling them terrorists too, because they're calling us that. The biggest North Coast terrorist is the American government. I mean, they have programs down there, like I was saying earlier, where they would use the coca leaf and like experiment with it, right? And dry it. Well, you know the recipe. And they would do those chemical processes to that leaf. Anyways, and they would give it to the natives of there from the Andes and the mountains, and they'll observe them, see how they react. You know what I mean? See, like, all right, if we add this much, it's gonna make him hyper. You know what I mean? Or if we put this in there, it's gonna kill him. I mean, they experiments on our people like that. What I was saying earlier, the biggest consumers of all those things are the oppressors. It's Esau. They are the biggest consumers of those. Like, that's why you see him in the streets bent over. You know what I mean? Like, just passed out. You know what I mean? And yeah, I was watching this brother on I forgot, I think it was YouTube, but one of them apps. He was saying, like, if you want to act, if you don't want ICE to mess with you, just act like an American. And then he was making fun of it. Yeah, he started. He was on the sidewalk, like, bend out, like, he was like, they're not gonna mess with me then. You know what I mean? But that's not like, we all know that substance abuse is a real problem amongst us, and yeah, and it is unlawful. You know what I mean? But you can always get help here, though. I know that much. I think that's enough on Deuteronomy. Let's go to we got time. Ezekiel 35:2. Yeah. 35.
The book of Ezekiel.
Or start at 1. Start at 1.
31.
35 and 1.
Oh, 35 and 1?
Yeah.
Okay. Ezekiel 35 and 1. Moreover, the word of the Lord came unto me, saying,
All right, Ezekiel's talking. Go ahead.
Son of man, set thy face against Mount Seir and prophesy against it.
Right. Set thy face. You know what I mean? Face him. Face this man. You know what I mean? Like Officer Kabar used a great example. Like, you know how before, when they do the conference for boxing matches, you see how they come face off. Exactly.
Face off. Yeah.
That's what it's saying here. Like face off against this man, against the oppressor. You know what I mean? Like how that don't mean like go guns blazing. And you know what I mean? Like we're not unalivers here. You know what I mean? We still follow the law. But like what we do in the school is we setting our face against them. You know what I'm saying? You see that at camp.
Yeah, and it tells
that's the real standoff right there at camp. You know what I mean? Because they right there in our grill, we there too. You know what I mean? Defending our truth.
Prophesy against them. That's what it says. It said to set thy face against Mount Seir. And what I was gonna ask is from my understanding is Mount Seir is where the Edomites are from.
That's correct.
Right? Yeah. That is where
Their
Edomites.
mounts.
That's their real. Yeah. So it's setting to set thy face against Edom, which is the white man, and prophesy against them.
Right. There's also in the scriptures, sometimes when you see mount or mountain, that also means body of government. You know what I mean? Like exactly.
Oh, the body of government of Edom.
Yeah, like right now, like our mountain right now is the Republicans. You know what I mean? That's the mount. They're in power right now. So sometimes it means that like a mount is a governing authority. And prophesy against it. Like we do here, bro. We prophesy against it. We're not shy or hide the truth, man. Like we tell it like it is. You know what I mean? And we do it not to I want to say clown. That's not the right word. But we don't do it to insult. You know what I mean? We do it to let our people know, like, this is what's happening. Because they're definitely not going to tell us. I mean, they're not going to tell us their bad intentions. They're not going to tell us their crimes. But we are, though, because we see it. You know what I mean? We recognize it when we see it on the news, when we see it in history, but we know it to be true because it is written. You know what I mean? In the Bible, it never lie. The Most High never lie. You know what I mean? Go ahead.
And say unto it, verse 3, Salakia, verse 3, and say unto it, thus said the Lord God, behold, O Mount Seir, I am against thee, and I will stretch out thy hand against thee, and I will make thee most desolate.
That's correct. So imagine, like he was against us too. You know what I mean? Because we didn't follow the law, statutes, and commandments. But this Mount Seir he's against them as well for the same reasons, because they definitely won't follow the law, statutes, and commandments, but because of the crimes they commit against his children. You know what I mean? He's against them. So you got to be a particularly wicked nation, a wicked individual for the Most High to say, I'm against you. You know what I mean? Right in the open, like, you know what I mean? That's the Most High is who he is, and he got beef with his people. You know what I mean? There's problems amongst them. Go ahead.
I will say against it, thus said the Lord God, behold, O Mount Seir, I am against thee, Salakia,
go ahead.
And I will stretch out mine hand against thee, and I will make thee most desolate.
Most desolate. Desolate is empty. It's waste. I mean, that's the kind of power we serve. I mean, that's the kind of power that we love. The one that'll go against our enemies. You know what I mean? The one that when we apply and practice and continue following these last law, statutes, and commandments, he's gonna put his hand out against them. I mean, he's gonna bring those plagues. He's gonna bring those nuclear weapons. He's gonna bring that destruction. He's gonna bring them to addiction, to substance abuse. I mean, he's gonna burn their cities. I mean, he's gonna topple. He's the ultimate toppler of governments. You know what I mean? Like, you think America's bad? It's wait till the Lord start stretch like he is now through us. Stretches his hand against Mount Seir. You want to see them crumble, bro. I mean, go ahead.
Verse 4, I will lay thy cities waste, and thou shalt be desolate, and thou shalt know that I am the Lord.
Right. That's how you know. And once again, back to the signs, bro. I mean, that's how when these things, which is coming soon, you know what I mean? It's already starting. Once these things start unfolding to the point where we lose power, we get hit by EMPs, where weapons just start falling from the sky, when they start burning cities down, that's when Mount Seir is going to know that he is the Lord. You know what I mean? That's when we're going to know that the time is soon for our deliverance, you know what I mean? For our salvation. But like we always stress and profess here in the school, that like the most important thing in the scriptures and the whole scripture, the whole Bible is important, right? I'm not negating any other verse, but Christ told us that loving the Most High with all their mind, heart, and soul, and loving your brother as you do yourself, like that's the glue to this movement that we are. You know what I mean? And we just read earlier what love was. Love was following the law, statutes, and commandments, right? It ain't about hugs and kisses. Because sometimes love is tough. I mean, I remember when I first started coming to the school, Officer Dowd had a whole class about love. I mean, and he said, love is tough, man. Love is war. You know what I'm saying? If you love your brother, you ain't going to allow him to sin. You know what I mean? You know how difficult it's going to be for that brother? I mean, that's war. If you ever been through
Here for adversity in the Bible.
Exactly. Yeah. Like if you ever been through withdrawals, that's war, bro. I take for my enemies can do that. But I wouldn't like to see my brothers go through that, man. That is a terrible, horrible feeling. You know what I mean? And that's part of that love that we show here. It's going through war. You don't have to go through it alone. You know what I mean? That's kind of foolish and selfish. You know what I mean? Like, let your brother help you, man. You know what I mean? Where we left? Go ahead, keep going.
Verse 5, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred.
Right, a perpetual, man. That means consistent.
Everlasting.
Yeah, like back to back. You know what I mean? Decade after decade, century after century.
Perpetual sentence.
Exactly.
Perpetual. You ain't never
Yes.
coming up.
Yeah, you're not, because that's the and that's you know what I mean, one of the reasons why they crossed that whole ocean. You know what I mean? They brought that hatred over here. You know what I mean? It followed us from Egypt to Jerusalem, now to here. You know what I mean? And go ahead.
And has shed the blood of the children of Israel
Right.
by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity.
Right. In the time that we are suffering, in the time where we've been oppressed, in the time where we live in waste, which is the ghettos, barrios, and reservations, you know, in that time of our suffering, you know what I mean, he still manages to unalive us. You know what I mean? He still manages to oppress us even further. You know what I mean? Like, if I see a brother that is just going through it, I'm not gonna oppress him more. You know what I mean? Like, that's wicked. I mean, like, how can you be so evil? You know what I mean? Like, where's your compassion? Where's your humanity? You know what I mean? Because that's something that the devil doesn't know. You know what I mean? The devil wouldn't know that. Go ahead.
In the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end.
Right. Go ahead.
Therefore, as I live, said the Lord God, I will prepare thee unto blood.
Right.
And blood shall pursue thee.
Yeah. So, and he said, as long as what?
Therefore, as I live, said the Lord God, I will prepare thee unto blood.
And that is perpetual in itself. Because the Most High ain't going nowhere. So he's saying, as long as I live, as you know what I mean, as he's gonna be God. Yeah. You know what I mean? And he's gonna shed blood of the children of Israel by the force of prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee. So everywhere they go, they're not saved, bro. Like, their judgment is coming. That day, the day of Jerusalem, that day is coming. And blood is going to pursue them. You know, we was reading earlier about he's going to make them desolate, right? That's what that's talking about. Like, they're going to be wiped out. You know what I mean? Like, it's going to get to the point where our children are going to be like, this the man, this the one that had, they're going to be in museums and shit. That's who had you under oppression? I don't believe this. I mean, it's going to get to that point because they're not going to exist. I mean, they're going to be gone or working in my field. You know what I mean? Working in my oil tanks. You know what I mean? See, I might hire them as officers to keep other nations in check. You know what I mean? I ain't going to let them fool my cook, though. Go ahead.
I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee. Sit thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee.
Right, because they lust after blood, bro. They like it. You know what I mean? They like, that's how they are the nation that they are, through bloodshed. And because, you know what I mean?
They pride themselves in like being hunters and
Yeah.
having heads of like everything.
Yeah, bro. Like bro, a sniper will sit there for about a week and not move an inch, just to get a little taste of more blood. You know what I mean? A hunter, like in the woods, they do the same thing when they go hunt game. Yeah, bro. Pee on themselves. You know what I mean? Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, that's the kind of spirit this oppressor got, bro. It's a bloody one. And that's why the Lord is going to punish them for it. You know what I mean? They're not going to escape. They're not escaping. You know what I mean? The length of his arm, they're not going to escape it. Go ahead.
Thus will I make Mount Seir most desolate and cut off from it him that passeth out and him that returneth.
Right. I'm gonna make them desolate, bro. Whether you go through Mount Seir or outside of Mount Seir, or whether you're in it or out, whatever it is, he's gonna make it desolate, bro. It's gonna be dust. You know what I mean? It's gonna be sand. I mean, it's gonna be gravel. You know what I mean? It's gonna be I forgot the scripture, but I forgot it. But there's a scripture that says that this place is gonna be like a lake of fire. I mean, in other nations from across the globe, from across the ocean, from across the sea, they're gonna see smoke in the air. I mean, that's how bad it is gonna get, bro. You'll be like, where's that smoke coming from? Like you can see that shit in Africa and Europe. You know what I mean? In Cuba, like we'll be like, oh damn, like that's the Lord's work right there. Yeah, that's the Lord's work right there, bro. You know what I mean? He's a horrifying power, bro.
That's right.
I wouldn't want to be for him, bro.
Nope.
That's why I'm so thankful that I'm his son, bro. I'm so thankful that y'all, my people, you know what I mean? I'm so thankful that we're family. Because what they got coming, I don't want to see it coming to none of us.
We still gotta repent too.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, and that's the objective. That's the only way we get back. You know what I mean? Let's get back into good grace with him. What was that? 7? All right.
We're on verse 8.
All right, let's read 8 and 9, and then we'll call it a wrap.
And I will, verse 8, and I will fill his mountains with his slain men in thy hills and in thy valleys, and in thy rivers shall they fall that are slain with the sword.
Right. Via violence, bro. Via violence. That's how any kingdom that has ever risen has been taken by violence. You know what I mean? This kingdom was taken like that. This kingdom was taken like that, bro. I mean, this kingdom, they unalived the Native Americans, they unalived so-called Hispanics, they unalived so-called blacks to get this. You know what I mean? Then they force us into their militaries. And this is talking about in the mountains, they're gonna be slain, in the hills, in their valleys, in their rivers. Yeah. You know, they shall fall that are slain with the sword. Like you seen that movie Year One? Okay, there's a little part in there where the dude is like, he got mad at one of the guys and he was like, I'll kill you where you stand. It was like, oh, it's okay. Hey, that's what they're gonna be on live, but we're just saying there's no hiding. Go ahead. Go 9.
Verse 9, I will make thee perpetual desolations, and thy cities shall not return.
Yeah, there's no rebuilding it. Like there's no rebuilding the cities in this empire, bro. Not here. You know what I mean? Because as Esau, as the oppressor falls, then Jacob rises. I mean, while they're falling here in the school, we're rising it. We're rising our nation. You know what I mean? And eventually we'll go back home. You know what I mean? To the promised land. This whole planet is gonna be our home. You know what I mean? And that's because we serve this God here. Was that it?
Okay. No. And it says, I will make thee perpetual desolations, and thy cities shall not return, and ye shall know that I am the Lord.
Right. That's how you're gonna know. When that destruction happens, bro. And this is why that event that just happened with Venezuela, bro, like it's not a light thing, man. Like that is nothing like you brush under the carpet. You know what I mean? Like the consequences of those actions, bro, they're global. You know what I mean? Like before, when they was turning the other eye, like what is, well, it wasn't being so strict with Venezuela. All right, you know what I mean? Whatever. But now like you got other powers involved. You know what I mean? You got Russians involved. You got Iran angry. You got North Korea angry. China. You know what I mean? Like all these people, they're not light players in this game, in this war. You know what I mean? They're dangerous too. Anyway, yeah. With that being said, we are the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. It's out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commander General Yohana. And so I get announcements, right? You could.
These are the security announcements of the ISUPK. We are the ISUPK, started out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rule for new brother and sister. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother and the sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment, Numbers 18:21, and Malachi 3:8-10 means 10th in the Hebrew. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, give to Treasury Department or teacher. And then the priest fund, free will offering for priest, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like, upcoming holy convocations. And then we are to announce the holy convocation from the sheet.
Yeah, my bad.
Which was the next one?
Where we are at?
Feast of Dedication, and then the next one would be Purim, 14th day and the 15th day of the 12th month, which is Monday, 2nd March, and Tuesday, 3rd March of 2026.
Does it tell you where you can find it?
Yes, and you would find it in Esther 9:20-31.
That concludes the
that
security announcements. I'm now going to stand my I'm going
Okay.
to start and turn to east, say the Lord's Prayer. Abinaw. Repeat.
Abinaw.
Shabbat Shemayim.
Shabbat Shemayim.
Kodash.
Kodash.
Hayat.
Hayat.
Shamka.
Shamka.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Malakuka.
Malakuka.
Tala'ah.
Tabaa.
Tabaa.
Tazayaka.
What Tazayaka?
Hayat. Hayat. Hayat.
Hayat.
Hayat.
Aisha.
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 Barataza.
Barataza.
Kawa.
Kawa.
Hayat.
It's like, what was that? I can't hear you, sir.
Hayat.
Hayat.
Bashamayim.
Bashamayim.
Tanlanawa.
Latanlanawa.
Lakam.
Lakam.
Call.
Call.
Yawam.
Yawam.
Wasawakinawa.
Wasalaknawa.
Kabawakinawa.
Kabawatnawa.
Kasalakinawa.
Kasalaknawa.
Kabawakinawa.
Kabawat.
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 Wakinawa.
Kabawatyanawa.
Wala'a.
Wala'a.
Habayanawa.
Tabayanawa.
Banasayawan.
Banasayawan.
Habal.
Habal.
Hawashayanawa.
Hawashaynawa.
Mayan.
Mayan.
Rai.
Rai. Kaya. Laka. Hamalakwat. Wahala. Wahataparat. Wahalamyam.
We
Aman.
said in English,
Our Father,
which art in heaven,
hallowed be thy name.
hallowed be thy name.
Yahweh,
Thy kingdom come.
thy will be done
On earth
in earth
as it is in heaven.
as it is in heaven.
Give us this day
Give us this day
our daily bread.
our daily bread.
forgive us our debts.
And forgive us our debts.
As we forgive our debtors.
As we forgive our debtors.
And lead us not.
And lead us not into temptation. But deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom. And the power. And the glory. Forever. So be it.
Sorry. Do a courtesy salute to the brothers. Man of Israel, Imagine Shabbat. Sorry. Imagine. Barak.
Yahweh Bashim Yahushua Barakatah.
Yajimatah. I'm going to sorry and give the sisters a courtesy salute. Men of Israel, Imagine Shabbat. Imagine. Barak.
Yahweh Shamar Latah Bashim Yahushai.
Yajimatah. Class dismissed.